Okay. This is the best yoke that I've ever had from my Model 3 or Model Y. Welcome back to the Kobra Pit, whether you're a long-time viewer or a new subscriber like Coman Lee. I see you. I appreciate every single one of you. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. Okay, I know that I just put a yoke on my Model Y, but it was the same style that I had on my Model 3 for years. But this one though, this one right here, is much closer in style to the Model S and X's yoke that cost an extra $1,000. So when I saw that Tesplus had this, I had to get it. So what makes this yoke so impressive? Well, I gotta start with the looks. Not only does it remind you of the yoke on the Model S and X with Model 3 and Y vibes, but it also has the same center part as the Model 3 Highland. So one could essentially say that this is what the Model 3 and Model Y yoke would look like moving forward. I really like this design language. We still have the stalks, of course, but whatever. And I went with the white to match my frosty interior. And that horn airbag cover, it was a tough decision. I decided to go with the Tesla word and soft Alcantara to match the panels on my door. This combo is beautiful, and Tesla Twitter or Tesla X agrees. So what about the ergonomics? This yoke is different because the handles aren't rounded like the older style. It has a longer grip which feels more natural in my hand, kind of like my camera grip or like a trigger of some sort. It fits in the hand more comfortably. It's a little wider, which gives me more surface area at the bottom for chilling and not worrying about that FSD nag, which is annoying. But it is a tad bit more of a reach to access the buttons, but I had no issue. If your hands are a lot smaller, it may be a nuisance, but my wife loves it and she hasn't had any problems. And last but not least, the driving. Well, I'm used to it from years of yoke driving. I wouldn't say that it's better or that I would even prefer it, but I would say that it's fun and it's different. You've been using a regular wheel for how many years now? Is it time to switch it up maybe? Make driving a little more fun and unique? It might be time. So I usually install everything myself, which isn't too hard and very doable. But since Tesplus has TesStudio right here in Orange County, California, I said let me just roll over there and let them do their thing. Of course, you can just purchase products online and install them yourselves. They have tutorials for that. But if you're in Cali, and notice how I didn't limit it to just SoCal. Last week, they had someone come down from Sacramento. So if they can do it, you might want to think about coming to check it out. This way you can see what they have in person. You can compare the different options like I did, and then let them install it in a fraction of the time that you would. It costs $125 before my 15% off code for them to install the yoke. So if you don't have the tools or you just value your time, then you could come in and charge your car while they work on it. I don't know, I just like knowing that professionals are here to support you instead of just, relying on WhatsApp messages like I have with most manufacturers. Yes, the 15% off covers install and the product. They even provide in-shop consultation, like if you try to install something yourself and you kind of mess up, so they'll help you out. It's a nice service to have. So I walk in and my eyes just got big. I just didn't leave with the yoke. This simple mini display accentuates the yoke. And there's something else that I wanted for a while, but I've been afraid to install myself. This thing is also on the Model S and X. It's the tilting screen mount. I never really wanted to mess with that valuable screen. What if it slips and falls and, I'd be hurting. So if I have Tesplus right here to install all three, then it's an easy choice. Most of the time they have 3 people working on my car at once. Gabe set up the yoke by swapping out the guts and making sure that everything worked properly, while Chris and Brian tag teamed the mini display and screen mount. It was nice to sit back and watch this instead of being the one sweating and looking up tutorials and, of course, recording. But, of course, it's worth it for y'all. But it's nice to, take a break every now and then. Gabe shared that not every yoke internal module works with every model car, so making sure that it all works is key. Just seeing his confidence and knowledge about everything was beautiful. Chris and Brian never stepped over each other's toes. They worked in tandem together and shared that this is how it's done on a regular basis in the shop. Having the dash removed, even though it looks kind of scary and ugly, allowed Chris to access the mini display mount, and Brian worked on the cable install on the passenger side panel. Then Brian took over for Gabe and swapped in the airbag from the OEM Yoke to the new one. This was the part that I was most concerned about because of the airbag being so delicate and critical. So Brian, what are you working on right now?
Removing the OEM airbag cover, which is done now, right? And then you were gonna go with the suede one, right?
Yeah, it was a tough decision, but what you think about that suede?
Yeah, it would for sure look good with the white. So as you can see, these original clips, right, are gonna be fitting onto these.
Oh, okay.
And then this how it's meant to be, right? But if you're transferring basically a new case onto it, right, you will have to pry these out. It will still fit in here if you want to go back to it. It would just have to be a little bit more forced inside of it.
Oh, okay.
And then basically these would just sink all the way through. And you'll constantly be hearing clicks. And then now you're back on.
Cool. He also said that this was the most challenging part, but it only took him a few minutes. I guess that's the difference between a pro and us Joes. What you working on? What you working on, Chris?
All right, so we're gonna put this yoke back on. The main thing you want to make sure is that all the wiring is tucked in. If it's out here, it could affect the airbag.
Oh, okay.
It'll get stuck, or your horn will just get stuck on. So if you look in there, we tuck it behind all these brackets, and then the module's in the factory position. If you leave it out, then you're gonna have issues. And you really can't put it on wrong. The yoke has the spline, so there's only one way to get it in there.
How long do you think, if someone just wanted to do the steering wheel only, and it's their first time, how long do you think it'll take them?
If they're mechanically inclined with the airbag, an hour and a half.
Hour and a half?
Yeah, if you know a little more, maybe about an hour.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Not too long.
And then cover your ears, because the horn's gonna go off right now. You gotta make sure you pop this in all the way. And we're set.
Cool. Most installs are non-destructible, which means that they can be swapped out if you need to go into Tesla for a service. But I've taken many of my cars in with upgraded dashboards, rear screens, and even a yoke, and they've only given me compliments. Only if your install directly affects whatever fails in your car, then it could hurt the warranty, but I haven't had any issues so far. So everything was buttoned up in about an hour and a half. That's how long it would have taken me just to do the yoke. If you've never done it before, it may take you 2.5 to 3 hours just to install the yoke. So you know that I love the yoke, so I'll share how I feel about the other products. The mini display shows the odometer right there in front of you. My wife loves having it right there for some reason. I don't know, maybe she's just used to it on the Model X. I like how it shows the range percentage and the mileage. I like having the percentage, she likes having the mileage, so we both get what we want. The follow distance is there at the bottom too, but because of the location of the display, my yoke height, and my seating preference, I had to lean forward a lot to see it. Now, all of these factors affect how well you see the bottom. I like my seat low and my yoke in a particular spot, so it was hard for me to see. Overall though, it's clean and useful. It's one step closer to having the interior feel like the big boy models. And then the screen tilt. So first of all, it lowers the screen, and I love this. It gets it in line with the yoke, and it seems to just flow better that way. The lower height allows me to rest my arm and still reach the screen. I know it's lazy, but you know, I like to chill. Tilting it towards me is nice. Whether it's to reach better in the corner or just to aim it away from glare. I mean, it's just nice. I can't imagine what it would be like to play games on this, because I never really do that. I heard that GTA is on the Tesla now, so if any of you can recommend a good wireless controller, let me know in the comments. All in all, these 3 items make driving my Tesla more enjoyable. Yes, that is possible. But also having it installed in the shop where you can look at the products, charge your car, and fill up your tires, I mean, that's next level. They even said that you could just stop by to get your tires checked. Come check it out. Links to everything is in the description. Thanks for watching, and don't forget, Kobra told ya. All right, y'all.